Hello everyone, this is Tactic Angel. We're back on the PlayStation 4 playing some World of Tanks. This is actually a composition of 3 different videos that I recorded at some point over the weekend when the whole Tank Bowl thing was going on. Fiasco, which greets us annually with the opportunity to just utterly pound new players into submission for points and some nominal treasures. This year it is an M4 champion tank with the much beloved 75mm. At a certain point I realized a lot of people were playing essentially Churchills and Bogater sort of platoons, and that they were basically running around the map like a bunch of blind rats. So I decided, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna load up this old treasure. I have actually not played a lot of this tank until this weekend because I'm actually not even sure it was in the game when I went through the tech tree. But the T67 is a fantastic vehicle. It has really solid stealth. I'm playing this with a 2 or 3 perk crew. I have camouflage. I have Sixth Sense. Obviously, there it goes off right there. And I don't know if I have anything else. I know I was working on Mentor for a lot of this. I do not get Mentor first because I would like to know when I'm being shot at, and I find that that is probably more useful for getting experience than not, or anything else really. So we're here. Normally I like to go into the magical forest. I actually make a play to the right this time. It turns out to work for my advantage. This is just me shooting at things that I hope are there. I miss. I noticed that the magical forest actually gets annihilated pretty early in this game. This is a lovely thing that you can do with the T67. You are super quick on the battlefield. You have the ability to play a lot like a light tank in terms of spotting. You're not going to be as stealthy while you're on the move, but if you're stopped, you can look at the lower right-hand corner. You see that my maximum view range is pretty short. And I'm going to take advantage of that probably in every video that I show you today. I've set up here in a bush because I am a brave individual. This tank has no armor to speak of. I mean, I think I might have bounced a shot once, but I might have been dreaming, or I might have been drinking. It's hard to say. But basically what we're over here to do is to spot for the base, and then also, like, most of the players who are playing these Soviet tanks are not particularly good. They're not skilled, or they aren't running skilled crews that can see anything. So, like, I have a relatively high camo factor, and on top of that, they're probably not appropriately kitted out to even spot me. So I can shoot pretty much at will at them. Now, this guy does look directly at me, which makes me think, you know, maybe it's not a super great idea to go shooting directly at him. So we take a pass. Instead, we're going to hope that he can't figure out where I'm at while I shoot at his buddy over here. I look back. I got nothing better to do, so I start putting shells into him. He proves me right in terms of the average player not being able to figure out where blind shots are coming from. We're up to 3 kills, 13 pens now. You know, pretty solid game. That's about 1,300 damage, maybe 1,400. And we've got plenty of shells left. As it turns out, the major weakness for the T67 is actually its ammo count. You will typically run out of some sort of ammo if you are being effective. So in this case, I'm actually loading APCR right here because I was intending to engage that heavy tank. Instead, I see another T67, which is a pretty high priority target. I mean, if it's already loaded, you might as well shoot it, so I shoot it. And then right now we're just taking advantage of this guy who's got a lot of other things to think about other than just me. He starts to aim at me, so I back off. Get this last shot in, which luckily hits with the auto aim. And now we're off to try to kill the last vehicle on the map. I've already looked to see exactly what it is because I'm hoping it's not a heavily armored tank. It is a tier 3 SU Soviet tank destroyer, so it will be a pleasure and absolutely no effort to really kill. So there's a win. Pretty solid victory with 2588 in terms of total damage output. You get the Ace Mastery badge, the Top Gun. We end up on the top of the map, or the top of the charts for the players. And here are all of the people we shot. Kind of when you see me play the T67, you'll notice my medium tank gameplay. I sort of naturally fall in the medium tank range. So I split my shots between things that I can see while not being shot, and things that I can see that have maybe better things to do than worry about me. That's kind of what I try to do. I try to prove them wrong when they think, oh, you know, it's just a T67. In this particular match, I would not fault people for thinking it's just a T67. This is another good example of I'm bottom tier here. So this is how the T67 can perform while bottom tier. I run out to this bush. Again, I'm trying to play the light tank game, trying to spot this guy. He's within or just outside of my maximum view range. If I shoot, he's going to be able to get me. I chance it there as he drives outside of that ring, and I get lucky. He's probably not running max view range, or at least not max enough to overspot me through the bush while moving away. T67 has decent accuracy. I mean, you can see if you have played up to tier 10 that it's not super accurate, but it's, you know, acceptable. You can hit things most of the time. I switch over because these tanks are much better targets, much easier to hit. There's some tier 5 accuracy for you, and a little bit more. So, score's 1-1. We're just kind of watching, keeping an eye on this middle section of the map. There's not going to be a whole lot of action here. I know that the guys are going to probably try to pass over to the east side of the map. I stay in position hoping that I might get a shot on them. But as it turns out, it's not going to, you know, really pan out for much here. So this is, yeah, wasting time. You know, you play tanks, you tend to waste a lot of time. But, you know, you get to learn all sorts of things about, you know, deciduous plants and camouflage factors, and, you know, think about what you want for dinner or if you should have another beer. Whatever. So we're going to move. We see that the east half of the map has collapsed. This new set of bushes is going to give me the opportunity to get a couple of pot shots, probably on a bunch of tanks that are going to come over here and probably just annihilate my team. Here we go. We're shooting at that T1 heavy. Down we go. We're up to 9 pens. We're bottom tier. We've already done 900 damage. Now, usually my rule is I like to do at least as much damage as I have hit points. Even when you're bottom tier, that at least gives you a little bit of indication that you're pulling your weight. It's not as true in tank destroyers or in self-propelled guns, but in this case, you know, we're doing some pretty good work, particularly now that we're up above 1,000 damage. 1,000 damage, I know, is the better part of a tier 7 heavy tank, and as a tier 5 tank destroyer, that's a pretty good net. Our team right now is struggling, though, to hold on to its game at all, really. I'm taking a little bit of advantage to this Speerpanzer 1C. It was, I should say, more focused on other things. Now I really want to kill it, and I know that this is actually a bad play. It's a bad play that I knew was a bad play at the time, and I was just hoping that it would work out because I've got this extra bit of cover, right? So you have this giant house, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I can get over there and I can drive, you know, directly away from it and maybe not get shot. As you see, somebody clearly saw me and shot at me. So we're playing the runaway again game. Naturally, we start to think, what sort of bushes or houses can we put between us and the enemy to make this not so terrible? There we go. Lucky shot right there to actually track him, and another lucky shot to pop his top. And now we're up to 3 kills, 20 penetrations. This is a pretty great game to ask for a bottom tier tank. But it's all going to fall apart here in a second. So don't worry about it. We got people in the cap. I'm moving back to this bush, so now I can maybe spot. I'm a little bit worried about this Swedish tank destroyer. I give away my position by shooting at it, and I'm not even kidding. That was full-on brown alert, and I just misplayed that. It might have been better for me to hold off. Probably could have lasted the last 8 seconds. Overall, though, 21 pens, 3 kills, bottom tier, couple spot assists. So we look at the scorecard here. We're sitting at 2574 damage. Once again, Ace Mastery badge. I think at some point I must have earned a mark of excellence. There we are at the top. Really no surprise. A look at our efficiency. Once again, you can see that I will shoot at just about anything that I can see in this tank. I don't particularly go hunting for the kills. And last but not least, we are on highway. I think we are back in the top tier position. That is me driving like an idiot and hitting people who've just spawned into the game. One of the subtle joys of World of Tanks, the initial spawn and everyone running into each other. I probably should have apologized for that. So anyway, we're playing kind of the light tank thing. I am a little bit sad that nobody is really following me, but I know there's a bush that I can probably get to without getting spotted. It's right here. and as you see, my maximum view range immediately goes really low. I feel okay about shooting at this Wolverine, just because I've been taking stock of the average spot distance of tier 5 tanks. I seem to be above average here, and I would say that that is true for the T67 in general. You can kind of see a little bit of that tier 5 accuracy coming into play as I lob shots randomly. Here's some ill-advised gunnery. Always tricky shooting through this, but we managed to get a shot in. Here comes a guessing game. Some really awesome tier 5 accuracy. More tier 5 accuracy. Maybe he's right there. Who knows? This is... I would say that this section of the game is called recorded embarrassment. And he misses. And he misses. And he shoots, maybe? And he misses. Good times. So there we go. Finally got something else to shoot at. This T50 is elusive at best. I'm probably too far away and he's probably too small for me to be doing any of this. But eventually persistence pays off. Everybody's too far away for me to actually see them. I'm going to help some people on my team by not driving close enough to be possibly spotted and putting shells downrange anyway. As you can see, I am running out of AP. And now we are into the APCR. You can see the value there of sometimes shooting at things that you think are there but may not actually be. I don't think this guy's going anywhere, so I'm going to continue to put shells right where I think that he's probably sitting. I feel like that one sailed, and then I find out, you know, maybe he actually did move. Sad panda. Not a whole lot going on. Overall, I'd say if you enjoy seal clubbing, the T67 is a pretty versatile vehicle when it comes to punishing people at lower tiers. As you can see, it has a pretty decent amount of pen. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but certainly if you're top tier or if you're in a 1-tier game, you're holding your own, and really your stealth is what's going to save you. I kind of feel like I like this tank because I enjoy playing the E25 a lot. That's just where I'm at. As you can see, I have 3 shells at this point. I put this one into the earth because there's a part of me that thinks maybe I can earn a Faden's medal. And that is if you kill the last enemy tank with the last shell that you have. And there it is. What a beautiful way to muff a shot intentionally. We're going to go ahead and win that Faden's medal like we have never done before. We get another Ace Mastery for our efforts. 2194 damage, a couple extra assisted. We are at the top of the charts. No surprise there. Thank you everyone on Team Russia, even though you probably won. It was really fun to shoot at your dumb blind tanks. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I will see you on the next one.